Hey guys! Welcome to the Secrets Behind the Stars channel. All the details are in our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share our video before continuing. Thank you so much. As the countdown to the new year lit up timelines everywhere, one quiet post cut through the noise and sent the entire entertainment world into a spin. It wasn't a trailer, not an interview, not even a red carpet moment. It was a series of intimate photos of Cenk, Torun and Mahassine Merabet, side by side, decorating a Christmas tree in a softly lit living room. Within minutes, the images were everywhere, shared and reshared, dissected from corner to corner by fans who know every angle of their lives, and every secret they try to keep. The snapshots showed a space that looked warm without trying, silver and gold ornaments catching the glow of string lights, a gentle mess of ribbons and pine needles on the floor. Mahassine Merabet wore red and white that felt instantly festive, the kind of cozy elegance that suits her calm poise, while Cenk Torun, in a relaxed, sporty look, had that easy, charismatic presence he is famous for. There they were, focused on a tiny star in one frame, laughing in another, trading glances like it was a private joke just for the two of them. Fans said the same thing over and over: these looked too effortless to be staged, too natural to be a publicity stunt. And then the internet broke into teams. One group swore it was nothing more than a friendly celebration captured at the right moment. The louder side insisted the mood felt closer than friendship, pointing at small details others missed, a hand brushing a shoulder as an ornament slipped, the way their eyes found each other between tasks, the soft posture that happens when two people are comfortable in a room that would feel empty with anyone else. If they have never shared the same set, people asked, how do they move in sync like that? The comments rolled in like a tide. They have chemistry even without a script. Imagine them together in a series. Is the new year about to launch a new love? Those who follow both stars know that neither is quick to put private life on public display. Cenk Torun, long admired for classic leading man charm, has always chosen to keep romance far from headlines. Mahassine Merabet, admired for her grace and discipline across languages and markets, rarely lets personal moments slip past her carefully set boundaries. That is exactly why this post mattered. It arrived on a meaningful date, without a press release, and with a feeling that suggested the camera was more witness than tool. Rumor mill regulars whispered that the two had quietly spent time together for months, that a friendship had settled into something warmer, and that neither had felt the need to define it to the outside world just yet. People close to their circles painted a picture of group dinners and small gatherings in the weeks ahead of New Year's Eve, moments that felt ordinary in the best way, shared playlists, late-night tea, a few friends close enough to be family. The tree photos, those sources said, were simply a memory of one of those evenings, posted without fanfare. But the internet rarely leaves quiet moments alone. The glow of the lights in the background made the room look like a secret they had let slip, and once that impression set in, there was no stopping the speculation. The detective work began almost immediately. Fans started matching piercings of detail to detail, constructing a puzzle out of earlier posts. Isn't that the same deep gray sofa that appeared in his story last spring? Aren't those paintings familiar from her autumn photo set? The candle holder, the rug pattern, even the way the snoozing cat in the corner curled into the same spot from a different day, every clue came under a magnifying glass. The big question surfaced again and again: were these pictures taken in the same house? Soon, the conversation had turned into a full-blown investigation, complete with side-by-side comparisons, time stamps, and wild theories that somehow felt plausible because so many people wanted them to be. The caption made the whisper louder. Under one of the photos, Mahassine Merabet wrote, "The New Year spirit has wrapped our home." Those two words, our home, spread like wildfire. Maybe it was just a poetic phrase, a soft way to say the season makes any space feel cozy. Or maybe it was the tiniest window into a shared life. Then came the comment from Cenk Torun, brief and deliberate, a simple sign of affection that resembled a heart without spelling anything out. It wasn't much, but coming from someone who usually leaves subtlety to the actors he plays, it felt intimate. Headlines did the rest. Colleagues noticed, too. In no time, familiar names from film sets and theater stages were tapping like and leaving messages under the post. You too shine, one wrote. May the year bring good things, said another. They did not say more than that, but the message between the lines was unmistakable. Whatever people had been whispering behind the scenes had now entered the room. Even those who prefer to avoid gossip admitted it was hard to look away. Was this the moment everything changed? Or a brief overlap that would pass when the lights came down? It is not the first time their names have been tangled together in rumor threads. In the past, whenever their paths briefly crossed in conversation, both chose silence, letting the topic fade the same way fog lifts after sunrise. People wondered if this time would follow the same pattern. The date, the quiet intimacy of the photos, the gentle ease in their expressions, everything made the situation feel different. Was the post a calculated move ahead of a joint project? Or was it nothing more than an honest glimpse at the beginning of something real? Depending on which corner of the internet you asked, you'd hear one theory delivered with total confidence and then its opposite insisted upon with equal force. Producers and platforms pay attention to storms like this. Almost the second the images hit trending lists, talk of a series or a film pairing Cenk Torun and Mahassine Merabet was revived with fresh energy. People loved the idea of a classic lead with time-tested magnetism sharing the frame with a modern, international name who brings quiet steel to every role. Comments piled up about proof of on-screen chemistry and a pairing we didn't know we needed until now. The interest alone was enough to spark phone calls. If they ever appear in the same project, said one commentator, the first day of 2026 might be remembered as the moment the audience chose the cast before any studio did. Meanwhile, both Cenk Torun and Mahassine Merabet kept quiet. Not evasive, not teasing, just quiet. And somehow, that silence made the images echo louder. A warm moment around a simple tree became a national conversation about whether two people can have something their own when every glance can be replayed 1,000 times. Some outlets tried to soften the heat by pointing to a different angle. Maybe the post was nothing more than a seasonal tribute, a cheerful nod to a festive week. Maybe they'll share more holiday images and the mood will shift from romance talk to a simple catalog of winter memories. Yet even that theory felt fragile. Devoted followers checked for updates around the clock, hoping for a new photo on New Year's Eve or as the first morning of January stretched into daylight. If they posted again, from the same corner, with the same lights, everyone agreed the conversation would ignite all over again, hotter than before. One columnist summed it up clearly. Two names as strong as these in one frame will always cause a shiver, whether or not a press note follows. Love, friendship, nostalgia, or just the glow of a holiday, the effect would linger. What complicates everything is what insiders claim happened in the weeks before the post, a deliberate quiet. No grand outings together, no shared appearances at events, no easy opportunity to snap a photo and label it a couple sighting. If the closeness existed, they kept it small, personal, protected. A kind of gradual approach that, to some, felt more genuine than any splashy reveal. The tree photos disrupted that quiet, not violently, but certainly enough to set speculation rolling down a hill that is hard to climb back up. Then there are the gifts. Under the branches, neat boxes had been arranged with care. No labels were visible. No clues were offered. But people counted them, paused on the way they were set at slightly different angles, and declared it the detail that gave the night away. Who were the presents for? Was this a gathering of two or a night that included others who politely stayed outside of the frame? The more conservative voices said that presents under a tree do not prove anything. Those who wanted to believe said the care in their placement meant this was a special evening, a private celebration they chose to share in a small dose. Again and again, the question came back, could it all be coincidence? Could a friendly night look like a love story if you tilt your head the right way? When people want a narrative, even silence can sound like confirmation. Yet when two public figures who guard their personal lives so carefully give a glimpse this soft, it's hard to think the moment was accidental. The ambiguity makes it irresistible. The tug-of-war between hope and skepticism writes its own script while the main characters refuse to give a single line. In the background of all this, those who pay attention to careers rather than whispers keep an eye on the bigger picture. For Cenk Torun, a resurgence of interest frames him in a light the industry knows well, the charming lead whose presence anchors a story. For Mahassine Merabet, a cross-cultural audience leans in, intrigued by the idea of seeing her in a Turkish production that uses her elegance as a force rather than a mask. If they ever chose to work together, the groundwork has been laid without a PR plan. The audience has already imagined the poster. And yet the personal question refuses to leave the stage. The caption still rings, "Our home." It lingers because it is so small, 2 words that can mean everything or nothing depending on the night. Perhaps it was a relaxed expression for a place made warm by company. Perhaps it was exactly what it sounded like. The way the shot was framed, the ease between them, the unfussy way Cenk Torun steadied the ladder while Mahassine Merabet reached for a high branch, every second felt discovered rather than designed. Even if the post had been meant as a nod to the season, it became something else the moment it met the audience's heartbeat. What happens next could shift the story in any direction. A single sentence from either of them would settle the matter or light it brighter. One more photo at the same address would seal the pattern. Or the thread could go quiet again, leaving the mystery to be a memory that resurfaces every holiday season when people ask where it all began. By then, other headlines will crowd the feed. But for now, this is the story that refuses to sit down. If there is a plan, it is well hidden. If there is no plan, the power of a simple moment has carried farther than anyone imagined. Those who love them only want them to be happy, whatever name they give to what is happening. Those who watch the industry know that a storm like this does not come often. And those who prefer to avoid rumor altogether still found themselves pausing at the sight of 2 people laughing under glittering lights, as if time had slowed long enough for a secret to exhale. And so we arrive at the same place social media did a dozen times today. Maybe it's a gentle beginning and they are holding it close. Maybe it's a professional hint, a breadcrumb on the path to a project that could define the year. Maybe it is both, intertwined the way life sometimes is, refusing to live inside tidy boxes. Whether you believe in coincidence or fate, the images of Cenk Torun and Mahassine Merabet carefully placing ornaments on a tree have become the first rumor of 2026 that no one can ignore. We'll be watching if a new post drops, if a statement lands, or if a casting announcement appears out of nowhere to tell us that the audience guessed right. Until then, silence will do what it always does in this business: feed curiosity, sharpen imagination, and keep the story alive. This brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars and share it. Goodbye.